Ready?
All right. Now, should teens and adults get written permission from each other before engaging in sexual activity? And maybe take it a step further by getting video admission and verbal consent to the activity that is getting ready to take place to prove that both parties are in sound mind and body to protect yourself, because we know a lot of times people at the end of the night the next day, Jimmy didn't call you back, and all of a sudden you feel used and abused, and now all of a sudden Jimmy took advantage of you. Jimmy didn't broke your heart. You gave something to Jimmy and now he ain't feeling you no more. And a lot of people have been through that. Young men have been through that situation, and it has been terrible, and it wreaks havoc on families. So I want to ask you guys, how do you feel about that? Alexis?
She chiming in. Hit the buzzer.
Alexis, tell us about the experience.
I would absolutely say yes. And I will sum up this scenario as short as I can. So about 3 years ago, my son and some of his friends were involved in a situation that took place in the community of Elk Grove, where there was a young lady who was older than them in the same school that they all attended. Fortunately, she was Caucasian, and the young men were all Black and Mexican. And they actually, she invited them to come out to the park near our home and told them that she wanted them to participate in oral compilation. And of course, these high school men ran out to her, and they all involved themselves in this activity. And she had been chasing them for several years. I took my son's phone a couple times because she was sexting and texting and all that. And so they did it. I think it was about 4 or 5 of them. And one of them actually recorded it happening. And this was a Friday. And by Monday, this video was all over the entire school district. And so, of course, she got wind of it. She was intoxicated, but she chased them around the park, and this was on video. By Monday, because of the park cameras, by Monday, she got wind of it. She was hurt, of course, and her parents got wind of it, and of course, they were embarrassed, and so they went to the police. And she told her parents that she did not consent to this. And so the police quickly reacted, and they charged these young men with sexual assault. And all of these young men were, of course, picked up by the police. They were charged. We had to get attorneys, the whole 9. And I mean, they did some juvenile hall time. Some of them had other things on their record, so it was worse for others than my son.
Wow.
And, luckily, and thank God, because of some of the connections that we had in the community, my son was able to get deferred adjudication, and things worked out for him. He's now away at college, thank God. And it worked out. But back to what your question was, had we had exactly what you talked about, then we definitely would have been able to avoid this whole situation. So I completely agree with the question. And I mean, to what we have going on in society today, then definitely all the way to the president.
Yes, honey. Marie, you had something that you wanted to say.
Oh, well, I knew of a situation also where a young girl, but you know what? I don't think she was like that per se. The boys liked her, and they were kind of messing with her, and then she finally kind of, okay. And they ended up, but the boys did get in trouble. They ended up going to court, and they have cases too on them because they were with this little girl. And then when everybody found out, her mama found out, and everybody found out, it turned into rape. Yeah. So it didn't just turn into them just messing with her. It was a whole rape case, so kicked out of school. All kinds, had to leave the state.
Wow.
Had to move away. Yeah, it was bad.
So, Joe, you're a male. How do you feel about that?
I mean, where we're going now in the age of social media and video, and it's unfortunate, but it's like that's where we're going. We're going to an age where you have to have some kind of consent. You have this Me Too movement sometimes where people are in the spotlight, or you're doing successful in your career, then all of a sudden stuff can rear up from 20 years ago, 10 years ago, and now you're on the defense, and all it takes is an accusation.
Right.
It can be false.
Right.
It can be not proven, untrue, or whatever, but the accusation there associated with your name could ruin you, and you have no kind of defense on it.
Absolutely.
So there's quite honestly though, there are some apps that are out there already that have the ability for you to consent.
That's right.
And consent for any diseases you might have, what kind of sexual activity is going to take place, whether there's video going to be allowed, or you can be punished or have a
I guess
fine
you
if
would
you
have
have
to,
you
you're
have
right.
stuff that's released if you consent the video. So there's some stuff out there that don't ask me how I know. It was just some random stuff
no,
out
he's
there.
telling the
I came across this and I brought it up to my wife, but that's just where we're going with social
Right.
media and
Right.
and the video age now.
You right about that, because I had a girlfriend call me. She saw herself on Pornhub.
What?
She found her. Somebody was like, "Hey, you might want to go on Woo because that was you." Yes.
Wow.
So she was on there, and she was like, "Ah."
So somebody took a video of her
The dude
and
she
posted
was
it.
with and posted it on Pornhub. She had over 1 million views.
Wow.
Right. Right. I went up and looked on there, but yeah, she had, look, it was cracking. You know, she couldn't-
It'd be bad if she didn't have views.
but
Oh,
she
my
didn't consent. She didn't consent to
At
that,
least,
though.
what was that? At least she had views.
Right. Listen, over 1 million. Is that the number you need? No, but hey.
So she went viral.
Right, but she didn't consent to it though. She was
That
it
wow.
was she saw it and she was like it. Oh my God, I'll never forget how she looked. She was like, no. I was like, everybody looks at porn. I'm like, oh my God, it was bad. So
Okay, now Alexis, you have your Juris Doctorate. Okay, so how would someone handle that if they found that they were on Pornhub? What could she do?
I mean, I believe Pornhub could be held responsible and just go after some money. Go after Pornhub. I believe Pornhub is pretty wealthy.
I've never heard of them.
good. That's good.
Oh, neither have I.
I'm glad y'all ain't never heard of that.
Pornhub.
Yeah, what? It's not a cooking show? No.
Is it an app?
Right? No.
Wow.
I mean, I don't want to advertise for them and nothing like that, but you
I
know what
want
I'm
you,
saying.
but it's not. You're in a very sticky situation if you're on Pornhub.
That is not good. So if you guys want to chime
Pun
in,
intended.
if you want to chime in on the conversation, give us a call at 916-2269-226. Do you feel now that teens and adults should take it another step further by getting consent by video, even rent consent, to make sure that you were in your right mind, with a sound mind and body, that when we participated in this event, that you were very clear and aware of what was getting ready to take place?
And see, I can see that going to court, and now it becomes an issue whether they were under duress, pressured.
Right.
It wasn't me. I didn't. It gets real complicated, and I'm gonna just that.
So if you're not tied up and screaming help, then it's questionable.
I mean, what that I can see somebody arguing
I'm
against
saying,
that. I can see
right.
somebody arguing against that. It wasn't me. I was drunk when I consented.
Right.
What do you do with that?
But can you say I was in sound mind and body? You have to say this. You were in sound
Right.
mind and body.
Right.
And I was drunk when I said I was.
See,
But when you sign a document, I mean, it clearly states,
if it's written well.
right? Well, you guys are getting very, very technical.
right.
I mean, that's what a lawyer does. They'll find the
yeah.
loophole to get you out of something that you
True.
signed.
True.
And so I don't know. I just see that as it being necessary, the kind of where we're going with things, especially if you're flirting. What if you had multiple people you're doing this thing with, and you got consent forms all over the
Kind of
place?
Paperwork just all day.
Find them out.
Hold on, wait.
Well, they got a file cabinet.
I still
Wait.
I don't
Who's
do
this?
computers.
Let me look her up. Yep, I got it right here.
Right here. Ooh, you need to update your file, girlfriend.
Oh, y'all funny.
Rotation for me.
Give us a call at 916-226-9226. How do you feel about having some legal documents? So if you decide now, this is something that people do. Okay, now. We call these ele ubatels, right? I'm gonna have my husband do an ele ubatel, which he didn't know he was going to be doing, because my husband had an ele ubatel story that it was a couple that literally came and they was taking a ride in his Uber, and it was a married couple, and one of the gentlemen, he's kind of well known here locally, and him and his wife are swingers, and what they require is for individuals to sign a contract
Yeah, you have. Yep, yeah.
to participate in these
Yes.
extracurricular activities. Tell the rest of the story, babe.
Well, you
you
told
up,
us
like
it.
you
I
just
mean,
told it.
yeah, you set it up. But yeah, it was a drive, and the guy was excited that his wife had recently got a tattoo and wanted me to see it, and it was in an area
one of
that
those
was
rides.
pretty low, and she had to actually take down her pants a little bit. I'm trying to drive, get him home, but the whole thing was he
was
asked me
lit.
what I was doing after my drive
None of your
off.
business.
and hey, I'm married, etc.
Oh, great. You're married. That's even better.
That makes you a swinger.
And actually brought up the form bit, and I was just shocked, and I immediately called my wife when I got home. I'm like, yo, in case you hear anything, this is what happened.
For real.
I found out that after 19 years of marriage, it's better just get that kind of
Right.
stuff off your chest.
Right. Come in the house talking. You ain't even at the door good. You talking from the parking lot.
Right.
But I
Understand.
mean, stuff like that happens. I mean, I can imagine them, meeting people and whatever. But it's just wow. It was a shock.
You know, that's a big deal in Atlanta. That's how they get down out there.
Right,
That's
yeah.
that's like a lifestyle.
Houston too.
Yeah. My friend Ricky, when he moved out there, I remember we were talking on the phone one day. He's watching right now. We were talking on the phone. He said, no, it's lit out here. He said, I was trying to pay a bill. I'm just simply trying to pay a bill on the phone. And got into this conversation with the bill collector, like, yeah, so you swing? I'm like, what?
Really?
I was like, what? He was like, yeah, they out here, they out here, B. I'm like, wow.
It's here too. I've heard it.
Really?
Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Wow.
Well, I'm just glad none of that has come my way. I'm so thankful.
But you know what? We're in an age where it's so, I don't know. It's everywhere, and so now it's become a norm almost, where it's not as
Right.
shocking as it used to be.
Right.
It's like it's on Facebook, it's on
Right.
social websites. It's people talk about it, and people know other people that actually participate, and so now it's getting to the point where there's the boundaries and lines are all
Okay.
not even blurred. They're just
Right.
not
They're-
there.
They're not there.
Right.
And that's scary for a person like me who, in my generation of people, so I was raised in church or whatever, so I have some of the value, the values. And so for me to want the experience of a man of God or whatever, which not saying I won't get this, but with what's going on now, for a man to come to me or to be with me or confront me and have morals for himself is almost like obsolete, and it's scary because now you have to think, when somebody's coming to you as a single person, who else you with. That's what's on the table first before anything else. Who am I competing with? Who am I side chicken? Who? I mean, no, seriously, and it's
Right.
scary. It really is scary. And I'm 47. Okay, so this is what I'm looking at.
Right.
And I want a specific way to be approached. I have a specific
Right.
way I want a man to approach me, and they not doing it.
Wait. You said, gosh, I felt that in my spirit.
And if they're doing it, you know about it because you got the same line.
Right.
She know about it because she got the same line. So we can all rehearse your line.
Or it's coming.
Wow.
No, and it's real. I'm not even trying to be funny. It's really scary. You know what I'm saying? To think about, will I ever be married now? Now, will I really ever be married now? And will my marriage be safe? I know with God it will. Don't get me wrong, you guys. What I'm
Right.
saying, but
Right.
when God's in it, but for those who aren't functioning fully in that life like that, this is what you're facing.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's bad.
There's more temptation out there now than ever, and I don't see it slowing down any bit
At all.
And so, if you don't have a defense against that up front, a lot of men, quite honestly, are putting off commitment because of the activity that's out there now that they can just engage in without having any form of, commitment or repercussions. It's like,
Right.
why get married? Some of them are literally like that. Why get married? I got two and one on the side, and they're all content with that.
And I don't think I would be a good dater. I just really don't think that I would be a good dater because I think my standards are too high. Joe, you messed me up. My husband messed me up. The standards are too high. So ain't nobody gonna be able to reach them standards. So I'm just be single for the rest of my
Yes.
life. Because when I hear what's going on out here, I don't want none of that.
It is
Right.
ugly.
I'm spoiled.
Yeah.
So I must say I'm
Well,
spoiled.
I'm glad I spoiled you. Spoiled me too.
Oh, did I?
Put it that way.
Yes.
Because I'm not willing to put myself out. So we just in it
Yes.
to Jesus comes.